All right, fans of music, welcome back. It's Dave. It's the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Just got through listening to a great rant by Eddie Trunk, who a lot of times I. It's not that I disagree with him. I think he's one of the smartest and most astute guys out there as far as commentary on classic rock, melodic rock, hair metal, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Vintage music, legacy music. He's he's just going off on the Kiss situation on how they're singing to tracks and Paul can't sing anymore, and his bass player obviously accusing Paul long time ago of doing this, and he's also talking about how fans continue to show up for these shows. And there's a reason, folks, that, and I've kind of touched on this before, that fans are willing to shell out money for fake bands. Okay? And you're going to say, well, how do you say Kiss is a fake band? Well, if they're up there and they're not performing, they're a fake band. They're fake in the sense that they're not actually giving you the product that they're supposed to give you. I mean, you grew up listening to these records. A lot of people are smart. They'll take their live albums out and they'll put them on their 5.1 surround, and they'll hang out and listen to that music, and they'll be happy. But there seems to be a group of people out there, and this is happening with Fleetwood Mac, to a lesser extent with the Eagles, because I think the Eagles kind of, like I say, they've kind of righted the ship there, as initially it was just, they're not going to continue without Glenn, and then they continue without Glenn, and I was scratching my head. But, they've been able to kind of at least get by with Vince and with Deacon. But Kiss, Kiss is having some issues because they throw four guys up on stage. We don't know where the sound is coming from. Could be coming from behind the stage, underneath the stage, all around. We don't know. But they're out of sync when they're up there, and it's clear that they're singing to a track. And there's just a growing segment of the population that is kind of willing to just go along with it, which is bizarre. But here's the rub. The 60s were a great decade of music. The 70s came along, another great decade. The 80s came along, great decade. The 90s show up and things start to change. Music starts to go south, and it goes south quickly. And the kind of music that we listen to really since the 50s, since the birth of rock and roll, really, in the 1950s, we always kind of had some of those characteristics. Is it melodic? Can you sing to it? Is it predominantly fun, upbeat, optimistic music to some degree? Doesn't always have to be. Can tell a story. But it typically gets you away from the crap and the problems in your life. It's an escape. And what happened in the 90s was all of these people came forward with music where they're bearing their souls and they're telling you about all of their problems. And the music gets dark. Obviously, grunge, where guys, look, folks, I don't care what you tell me. You can't compare grunge musicians for the most part. A couple of them could sing, but for the most part, I came from the era of Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix and Jimmy Page and all of these musicians, Neil Schon, okay, people who could play their instruments, Eddie Van Halen. You cannot just replace all of that with crap and then go on for 20 years, okay, I'm going to tie this together eventually, and then expect people to say, okay, well, I need to go see Kiss because there's nobody left who's playing, and that's part of it. Who's out there who legacy people want to see? Nobody has come along to replace them. Now, yeah, you got bands like Ghost, it's a gimmicky group, and devil worshipping and all this stuff. I mean, they're getting in trouble like with the old time crew that used to come out of the woodwork and just say, hey, this is satanic music. I don't know if it is. I don't pay that much attention to it because I think it's marginal. I don't know if it's even rock. It's got rock elements, and it's a new kind of sound. And then people are saying, "Oh, the Struts and Greta Van Fleet," and folks, that's not enough, and it's not of the quality that is going to replace what we used to listen to. And that's caused this void where everybody's like, "Oh, Kiss is coming around. I better go see it." I mean, you can have one original member like the Guess Who or some other group that's out there, and they're touring, and you as a consumer who have grown up on classic rock, you see the name on the marquee and you say, "I got to go see this. It's I got to go." And Eddie Trunk, even though he's documenting the problem really well, the folks that he's, let me put it this way, the folks that he's worked for the last 20 to 25 years created the problem when they all simultaneously in the 1990s said, "Enough." Bands, by the way, like REM, who are considered alternative and progressive and had some of the elements that showed up in the 90s, they were banished. They weren't on the air. And then things that were starting to break, like Kenny Wayne Shepherd, the blues guy. Whatever happened to Robert Cray? He was on the radio all the time. Vanished. Okay? He's not wanted. Nobody wants to hear that stuff. And then all, of course, the melodic rock and the so-called hair metal, that just went away. And so all of the music that we listened to just vanished. And nothing came in to fill the void. Here we are now, a generation later, and these bands are left to lip sync and to play the tracks and to cobble together some lineup. I mean, look what's happened to Fleetwood Mac, you know? But yet they continue on and people continue to buy the tickets. They show up in droves and you're scratching your head and you're going, well, but they don't sound, and what about Lindsay and what about, it's just madness. And with the Kiss thing, I'm just thinking it's a show. Like I did a video the other day. It's like the World Wrestling Federation or whatever. I don't know what it is. I would not pay money to see guys going through the motions and just faking what they're supposed to be doing. And like Eddie Trunk says, if they can't do it anymore, quit, retire, get out of the business. It's time. Or if you're going to, create a new version of this group with new members who sound like the old members, kind of like a tribute band, but you get the trademark and you get the official stamp of approval from Paul and Gene, then of course, go ahead and do it if that's what you want to do. At least these guys could play the music live and not lip sync and actually entertain you in a truly authentic manner. So it's partly because, our entire country and most of the globe just bailed on melodic rock. They just bailed on it. So there's nothing to fill the void. Hence the Journey Def Leppard thing last summer was just huge because they were both playing their music, for the most part, from what I know, both playing it live and both actually, doing a good job of it. Is it exactly like the music you heard 30, 20, 30, 40 years ago? No, but they're trying, and it's good enough at times, and you've got good musicians in place to pull it off, and that's why it worked. So there you go. Long-winded video, but the reason we're in this place is because nobody came along to replace the music that we all grew up with. Nobody. And there's just a few of them out. They're all over in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and nobody over here talks about it. Done. See you. Bye.